Penn State loses again to UCLA. Oh my God, that was so bad. That was such an ugly game. I mean, not for a UCLA fan, which my stepdad actually is. It was what I expected to see, honestly, and not today. I did not expect you guys to lose today, Penn State, but you did. And the things that I've been talking about the last 2 weeks, message boards, podcasts, I saw this coming, and y'all didn't want to hear it. And so I'm going to tell you as quick as I can exactly why it happened and how to fix it. First off, it's your culture. Your fans are toxic. Your fans booed and cussed out your own team, your own players, your own coaches during the whiteout, during the fucking whiteout. That game was a blowout, right? Didn't Oregon just smash you guys? That's why you guys started booing? Oh shit, it went to overtime. It went to fucking time. It went to double overtime. You mean one play here or there would have made any difference? It could have made all the difference. The position of a throw, the placement of a throw, the smoothness in the handoff, the confidence in your quarterback to read what's going on, make the right decision, deliver the ball where it should be. That all hinges on his own flow of the game. It hinges on his energy. And your energy affects his energy. And your energy was trash. You had the shittiest fucking energy in the whiteout. You know why you think you had good energy during the whiteout? Because you were supposed to win. You thought the whiteout was Oregon's kryptonite. White is not Oregon's kryptonite. We rock that shit so fucking well. Every Oregon uni is clean and crisp as fuck. White is just another color that we owned. We owned the white during the whiteout week. That was Dan saying. He's like, all right, we need a bunch of dope ass white gear for my boys to rock, so we're gonna own this whiteout thing so it don't affect us. And that's just another thing to check off the list of all the things I have to check off to try to make sure my guys are prepared for the whiteout. Penn State fans didn't want to hear how much wishful thinking you guys were utilizing to your detriment, to your failure going into the Oregon game. Every Penn State podcaster and media member I heard from, read about, or was exposed to said how many advantages and that Penn State had over Oregon going into that game. Quarterback's more experience. He came back instead of going to the NFL. O-line, you got 6-7 fucking starters coming back. New wideouts, elite-ass wideouts from the transfer portal. Guys that are going to, give Oregon's defense, who have to practice against one of the very best wide receiver corps in the entire nation every fucking day. I mean, who do you think Oregon practices with when they practice? Penn State has elite players. You guys are so fucking experienced across the board. So many people came back, yet you lost the whiteout because your energy's shit. You got toxic fucking energy. When you boo your team in the middle of a game because you're upset like a little child, you are not going to help your team win. You are going to help them lose, which they lost. Anybody who knows ball, who's ever balled, been a baller, or, played a sport with a ball at a high proficiency, knows what being in the flow is. And when you're in the flow, you're, making every right decision. You're acting at the right time. You're putting the right touch on everything. It's crisp. It's exactly where you strive to be as an athlete every time you're in competition. And when your fans fucking boo you, you're definitely not in the flow. And you might be like, well, we booed him because he wasn't in the flow. And it's like, well, yeah. But you know what? It doesn't take a whole lot for somebody to start building confidence and then find their flow, which I think Aller did find his flow. At the end of that game, with the, help of a couple refs or not blowing plays dead, blah, 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 you guys powered through Oregon in the fourth quarter when you had to come back. And Aller was playing really well, but he wasn't before that. And you know what? Y'all fans let him know it. That didn't help him at all. Bo Nix is doing so well in the NFL right now because he came to Oregon instead of trying to keep playing at Auburn Auburn was done with him. Bo sucks, and he was a legacy kid, 5-star athlete. I think he might have been the top freaking quarterback of his recruiting class that year. I watched Bo Nix fuck up Oregon in his very first start of his collegiate career, and it was the first game of the season, and he pulled out a nasty-ass comeback win at the end of the fourth quarter, and I was fucking hurt. I was heartbroken as an Oregon fan because losing to Auburn, an SEC team who beat us in the national championship, the first game of the fucking season sucks, okay? Especially when you had the lead and you could have won. Yet some 18-year-old stud comes in there and tears you up. Bo had all the skills. Bo had all the tangibles and intangibles to be elite. But Auburn's fans were toxic as fuck. It's well documented. He lost his confidence, never found the flow, felt the pressure of the fan base because they didn't ever let him live it down. You think living in Happy Valley and then having all the other bullshit around you in the state of Pennsylvania? I mean, I love Always Sunny in Philadelphia, don't get me wrong. But Pennsylvania people are assholes as a stereotype in general. And a lot of them own that and be like, yeah, we got an edge. We're surly. We don't take shit. And I understand that's not saying you got to be a bitch. But you don't have to be an asshole or a C word to your football team. If you want them to do good, you got to cheer. I remember literally being the difference maker in energy at an Oregon game against Stanford when Andrew Luck was their quarterback. And I think it was his junior year because he did come back for his senior year, as that's well documented too, that whole loss of $50 million as a signing bonus. But we were down. Oregon was down 0-18. Stanford fucked us up right at the beginning of the game. Went up 18-0. I was sitting on the north side of the stadium. I was with my buddy whose dad gave him the tickets because they were company tickets. They were 48-yard line, 17th row. Great seats. And as soon as we go down 18-0, obviously the fans around me are not happy. They didn't boo. They never booed, but they all sat down and got quiet. The energy's trash, especially for an Autzen game. Trust me, Autzen's different. We have high standards too. We have higher standards in a lot of fucking places, most places, about energy. Well, I stood up the whole time, never sat down, not while we were getting stomped, not while Andrew was just slicing us apart. And I yelled every fucking down on defense like you're supposed to as a fucking fan. You're supposed to yell. You're supposed to have your team's back. And guess what? The 20 other thousand people on the north side of the stadium with me didn't start yelling with me until we got a defensive stop. And then they went, oh shit. Oh, well, maybe if we change our energy a little bit, it'll make a difference for the team. So more people started yelling. Then they started standing up and yelling. And Oregon got another stop, scored a touchdown. Oregon started coming back in the game. And back then, it was 2009, Oregon could score, a touchdown in about 40 seconds on average. I mean, come on, it didn't take long. So I never thought we were out of the game. But I knew if we didn't give energy to the team and good energy, we would lose that game. And we would have lost that game. And you can go back and watch the film footage of me being the only guy standing on the north side of the fucking stadium yelling. And I'm 6'5" and I'm a big dude. So I'm hard to miss. And I basically shamed the fucking people around me who felt entitled to just sit there and watch our elite team that was supposed to beat Stanford beat that team while Stanford was beating us. They didn't want to own the fact that we were just getting beat and that we need to participate as fans, as supporters and lovers of our team. Until I showed them, look, man, it's time to fucking yell. And they did, and Oregon won that game. And you know what? I got so many fucking high fives and, dude, you're awesome, and you never gave up on them, and, you might be the reason that we won this game, blah, 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 from the fans as I was walking up out of that stadium, and I didn't give a shit because we won that game. That's what matters. Not how you feel as a fucking fan about yourself, not how the team let you down so you don't have something good to feel about this week, or, your friends talking shit to you because your team lost and you got an arrogant ass attitude and you think that you're entitled to wins when you're not entitled to wins. If you're not playing on the fucking field, you got no entitlement to shit. You might have traditions of winning championships. That does not mean you're going to win this year. Entitlement is not a fucking stat that you get as like a boost to your fucking player profile. It just means that people want you to win and expect you to win. But when you start getting treated like shit by people who are wanting you and expecting you to win, it becomes a different type of energy. It becomes toxic. And that shit makes you lose games, especially really close games. Especially when you're at home and there's 100 motherfucking thousand of you toxic bastards doing that to your team. UCLA beat you today because you lost before you ever even played Oregon because of your attitudes. You don't blame shift. You don't just wishful think that you're going to be a better team and keep on reinforcing it with fucking stats that don't even match up what the fuck you're saying. God, I'm going to go into a deeper video later this week with respect about another podcaster out there who doesn't have a ton of followers, but he has a professional setup and he does it with another guy, and he's a Penn State guy. And we got into the most ridiculous, retarded fucking argument. And I'll get into that later. But I don't revel in being right. I'm trying to talk about football because it's something I'm super passionate about. And I care about people. I'm empathetic. If you don't have empathy for your team, for your players as humans, for your coaches as humans, you're a piece of shit. And nobody's going to give a fuck about your team. Or you. They're going to dislike you. And guess what? Recruits are going to hate you. Recruits are going to steer away from you. It doesn't matter who you hire. If you fucking can't get the right guys with the right chemistry, with the right culture, the right energy, the right fucking integrity, the right intentions and desires, to come in and be a part of your system and help you succeed and get to a championship, hopefully, because you still have to get through the fucking bugaboo and the issue of luck and health, because accidents and injuries happen every single year. So you have to have depth. You think you're going to get elite depth if you boo your fucking team when you see the slightest adversity, when you just start feeling like little babies because you aren't getting the results that you want to see? God, I hope the people that left Beaver Stadium during that game before the comeback, shame on you. I hope you sell your season tickets. I hope that they don't. I hope the staff at Beaver Stadium search out every single one of those people, unless they're elderly and they had, medical reasons why they had to leave. I hope that they make you sell your season tickets to somebody else who actually will be a good fan to your team and have the right energy to have a winning culture. I'm not rubbing shit in your face. I'm telling you the truth. Own it, dude. All you got to do, the first step is cheer for your team. Oh my God, that's so hard. If you love them and like them so much, just keep doing it, no matter what's going on the field. Later on, after the game, after they're not playing, after the energy doesn't affect them nearly as much, you can be critical, but don't be overly critical. Don't be insane. You got to be reasonable. You can't just tear into somebody and expect them to fucking, allow you to rant on them, about them, when you're coming from a completely fucking entitled, place of it's a thinking error. Entitlement is a thinking error. Wishful thinking is a thinking error. Blame shifting is a thinking error. And those are the three major things that Penn State's got going right now. And it's a tradition. Just like Charlie. We'll make an adjustment to it and we'll make a tradition out of it. Don't do that. Don't change up your tradition. Change up your energy. You guys will start winning. If you don't think that I'm right, if you don't think that energy affects these guys, you don't know ball.